Hi, I'm Alex Cox here at B2B MX, and I am joined with Nick Bennett. We'll get right to Nick in a second, but we are excited to be putting on a quick spotlight series of revenue marketers here at B2B MX. And just want to toss it over to Nick. We're going to talk about trends that we're seeing in the market from the B2B marketing SaaS space and just have a quick, fun conversation together. So, Nick, tell us about yourself and what you're up to right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to be here. So I'm a B2B marketer for the last 12 years, mostly in early stage tech companies. Series B to Series C has been my sweet spot, but within the last 8 months, I co-founded a company with my partner, Mark Killen's TACK, which is a on-demand go-to-market company for companies that are earlier stage in their journey, as well as a media network. So excited about that, but I feel like all my years as a B2B marketer has kind of prepared me for this, so.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic to see all the work you've been doing. You have a great presence on LinkedIn, something I really enjoy to follow and something that I get to learn from people like yourself, which is great. I just want to dive into a couple questions here, Nick, and get your insight on them. You know, the first question is, what do you think is going to happen this year? Any trends within 2024, especially within marketing? We'd love to hear what you're seeing. What do you think is going to emerge with some of your clients? You know, so forth and so on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think tech's in for another rough year, unfortunately, and marketers. I mean, budget is hard to come by, and if you're getting the budget, you need pretty much to directly attribute it to something because marketing leaders need to show. It's not like the old times where it's like, hey, I'm going to put 20% of my money towards brand or something like that. Like if you can't attribute it the right way, you're not going to get the budget these days. So unfortunately, yeah, I think tech and specifically SaaS is in for another rough year. I don't think it's going to get any better until mid-2025, unfortunately, from a lot of the research that I've read. One thing that I do see popping up more and more is B2B brands and specifically marketers working with creators and influencers to drive short-term and long-term partnerships. They already have the trust and authority. They have the voice in the market. You're just looking to tap into them as an extension of your team and driving it as an integrated marketing campaign.
That's awesome. You know, something I've seen you talk about a little bit is this, you know, this people first motion. Can you just like hit on that for a couple seconds, what that's looking like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So people first is everything that is our core of our philosophy. So how do you put people at the center of every interaction and experience? And think about it from like a marketing standpoint. It's as simple as transparent pricing on your website. You wouldn't believe how many brands I go to their pricing page, there's no pricing. Immediate turn off for me. And it's also other simple things like when you're sending your marketing emails, don't send it from marketing@xyzcompany.com. Send it from a real person. There's people that are doing the work both internally and externally. Why can't you spotlight them to help your brand ultimately grow?
That's awesome. Last time I was at a dinner with a bunch of revenue marketing leaders, and they said, you know what, we were all talking around the table, like, what tools are you bringing in? What platforms? You know, like they want to know from their friends what they're buying, right? And it's that personal touch as well. You know, this talk is being sponsored by RevShare AI. They're all about top of the funnel attribution, which is fantastic, trying to give you insights into all different channels, including digital, especially what you're saying with tight budgets these days, giving that quick insight and that live insight as well. Can you give me just a quick kind of what your thoughts are on, you know, across the board, top of the funnel, all the three at the bottom, maybe hit on a couple things of what you're seeing from an attribution standpoint, especially when it comes to budgets being tight. Like, you know, do you have any insight, any tips, any tricks for any marketers, especially people that are maybe just getting into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the attribution conversation is always tricky. It's who gets credit. You know, are you using first touch, last touch? Are you using full funnel? I mean, it really depends. Like, I'm a big believer, and I do think attribution has its place in this world, but I also am a big believer of self-reported attribution. And how do you take those insights to fuel a lot of your strategy? I mean, I did it at Alice, I did it at Cleary. Like, we built a whole self-reported, you know, attribution. We still had attribution on top of it, but we didn't rely solely on attribution software as part of it. But I do think it's important because it helps paint the larger picture. Yeah. But you have to have the right people to understand how to use the data. Like me, as a field marketer that came up, like, I might not be the right person to use that software. But ops, for example, is someone that can understand the data, would be the perfect person. And in my role, I always partnered really closely with ops to understand the larger picture on, hey, are my programs actually making an impact?
Totally.
Is it top of funnel impact? And as a field marketer, we play in the middle and bottom of the funnel for the most part. So it's like, hey, I'm not sourcing this pipeline, but I'm influencing this pipeline, and I want to see the touch points along the journey that help that convert into revenue.
For sure. Something, with my background is top of the funnel with digital when it comes in, so knowing those touch points, but also going back to your point of telling the story. Right. This person came to your field marketing event. If it's small, if it's large, do they have the conversation? When did this person enter the funnel, right? How did you nurture them? How did you get them into field marketing events? What was it like after meeting 2 or 3 or 4? How did the marketing journey continue, right? And I think it's being able to tell that story. Well, first off, thank you so much, Nick, for your time. Really appreciate it. I want to continue these series, hopefully keep you on. We got podcasts in the futures and writings and stuff like that. If you'd love to be involved, we'd love to include you as well. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm Alex Cox.
I'm Nick Bennett.
And we are excited to be here at B2B MX. Thank you.